Animals are so interesting. They come in so many different shapes and sizes and do all kinds of wonderful things. Playing with toy animals is lots of fun.
You can make your own zoo.
Mr. Hippo goes to meet him.
There's a zebra. I see a polar bear and a camel.
It's fun to make a play zoo, but how would you like to see a real one?
Yeah!
Welcome to the Big Zoo. Our adventure begins at the Baltimore Zoo, where there are lots of different kinds of animals. There are mammals, like tigers, lions, and bears. There are birds, like pelicans, penguins, and ducks. And we'll see reptiles, like lizards and snakes. We'll also look at frogs, which are amphibians. In the farmyard, we'll see sheep, cows, and goats, and we'll even visit a special children's zoo.
Let's go!
Our day starts early in the morning. Visitors will not be here for hours, but zookeepers are hard at work getting the exhibits ready. Animals are still in their special dens where they spend the night. When the exhibits are prepared, the animals will come out so visitors can see them.
Here's one now. Uh-oh, this one is shy.
These African crested porcupines have long, sharp quills to protect them in the wild. The rhinoceros scratches his nose on a rock. He's just taken a mud bath.
A mud bath.
He takes a mud bath to stay cool and keep bugs away. At the Reptile House, keepers go inside the exhibit with the giant monitor lizards.
Isn't that scary?
These big lizards are mostly just curious, but the keepers are careful not to disturb them. Monitor lizards are powerful animals, and they can bite. All over the zoo, animals and their keepers are getting ready. The elephants, Anna and Dolly, eat a breakfast of fresh hay.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
At the zoo farmyard, a rooster crows, "Good morning." Some goats eat breakfast, but others just want to play. The grounds crew makes sure the farmyard is ready for the visitors. Do you recognize these animals?
Sheep!
That's right. Their wool is used to make sweaters and coats. And you know what they say? Today, Dr. Laura from the zoo hospital comes to take blood from a pig named Wilbur. He doesn't like needles.
Neither do I. Me neither.
Over at the penguin area called Rock Island, everything seems quiet, but there's a lot going on inside. Zookeepers bring in fish to feed the penguins. This long tunnel leads under the water and up inside the island, where keepers are hard at work preparing breakfast for 73 South African penguins. There is lots to do. Vitamins are put into each fish so the penguins stay healthy. Sharon, the penguin keeper, puts 3 different kinds of fish into a bucket to take outside. She throws fish to each penguin and keeps track of what each bird eats by the little tags on their wings. Penguins can't fly, but they are great swimmers. In the wild, they can dive hundreds of feet underwater. When they swim, it looks like they're flying. For Sharon, taking care of the penguins is more than just a job.
It's like having 73 two-year-olds, pretty much. They get into everything. They all have different personalities, and you come to know each one individually. Believe it or not, they all look different to me. Well, good morning.
It's time for the zoo to open. Visitors begin to arrive. Everyone loves the zoo, but I think it's best for kids.
What do we see first?
It's a surprise. There's so much to see.
Let's go! Look!
Here are the prairie dogs.
Prairie dogs?
They're not actually dogs. They're really burrowing squirrels.
There's a mother prairie dog and her baby.
Prairie dogs are mammals that grow to be about 10 inches tall. They live in underground burrows throughout western North America. Prairie dogs are very curious and they love to run and play. These guys also love to play. Do you know what they are?
Polar bears!
Polar bears grow to be almost 10 feet tall and can weigh over 1,600 pounds. They live in cold climates inside the Arctic Circle. In the summer, they love to swim in cool water. Their webbed front paws make them great swimmers.
Does he have a big ice cube?
It's a plastic one. In the wild, they float on large pieces of ice for hundreds of miles to look for food. But I know what this one really wants. Time to go to Africa.
Yeah!
Zebras hear us coming from far away while they graze at the African watering hole.
They're like horses with stripes.
Yes, they do look like horses. Long ago, Romans called them tiger horses.
Why do zebras have stripes?
Well, look at this. Can you find the baby zebra?
There he is.
Stripes help little zebras blend into the herd so they won't be attacked by other animals. The stripes also help zebras hide in the shadows of trees.
How?
It's called protective coloration. The color and pattern on some animals lets them blend in with their environment. It helps them hide and can protect them from danger. This sitatunga has markings on its fur that lets it hide in tall grass. Now watch this. Scientists believe most animals see in black and white. Can you spot the sitatunga in this picture? See how well its protective coloration works. Another resident of the watering hole is a rhinoceros.
Wow, he's big.
Yes, she certainly is. Her name is Daisy. She weighs as much as 2.5 tons, but she can run almost 30 miles per hour.
Look at that horn.
The word rhinoceros means nose horn. The rhino's horn is not bone. It's made of keratin, just like your hair and fingernails. If it breaks off, it'll grow back again. Now it's time to pay a visit to the reptile house. But first, let's pretend we're frogs.
Okay, cool.
At the reptile house, they have lots of lizards and snakes. Today is special. It's feeding day. The bearded dragons eat little crickets, while the giant blood python gets his favorite food, dead rats.
Yuck!
The python will eat 3 or 4 of these rats every week. Snakes can swallow things that are larger than their heads.
Wow, how do they do that?
First, the python squeezes the rat to make sure it's dead, and then he dislocates his jaw. He actually pulls it apart to open it super wide. Then he uses his strong muscles to swallow the rat whole. After a meal, he rests, sometimes for days at a time.
But why do they have to eat little animals?
In nature, all the animals and plants depend on each other. It's called the food chain, and here's how it works. The sun gives energy to the corn plant. The rat eats the corn plant. The snake eats the rat, and the hawk eats the snake. Animals and plants all depend on each other to survive. In the back of the reptile house, there are many more animals.
You have your babies soon.
Vicky and other reptile keepers work to keep the animals healthy.
Every day we go through and we check every animal individually and make sure that they're fine for health. Snakes and lizards, we have to make sure that they're shedding properly, that they don't have any sheds that are stuck to their body. We have to visually check and make sure that every animal's healthy. We have to make sure that every animal's provided with clean water. We also have to spray certain animals. Not all our lizards will go to a water dish to drink, so we have to spray them and make sure that they're actually drinking. It's kind of like a little bath for them, so they don't seem to mind a little afternoon shower. Oh, sweetheart.
Another keeper collects fruit flies from jars to feed the poison dart frogs.
Poison dart frogs?
Yes, the zoo has a whole collection of poison dart frogs. Keepers feed them fruit flies, and the frogs snatch them up with their long, sticky tongues. Watch. Poison dart frogs are from South America. Actually, these zoo frogs are not poisonous, but frogs that live in the wild eat different food. It makes their skin so poisonous, it can kill any small animal that eats it. Some reptiles, like this snapping turtle, snap at their food so quickly you can hardly see them. And others just hold on to it, like this green tree snake.
Animals are also very different.
These Egyptian tortoises get to eat 3 times a week. They eat salads with lots of different fruits and vegetables. They don't have teeth, but they have powerful beaks. Listen. These tortoises were rescued by the zoo, and they are an endangered species.
What's an endangered species?
Animals all over the world are losing their homes. When a wild area, like this forest, is turned into houses or highways, animals have no place to live. They lose their habitat and they die. If enough animals die off, their species becomes endangered. The zoo provides a home to many of the endangered animals, like the Siberian tiger, the chimpanzee, and the Diana monkey. If it weren't for zoos, many of these animals would not be alive.
Hey, he looks like an armored tank.
That's an armadillo. In Spanish, his name means little armored one. He's a mammal, but he has a tough, leathery coat. In the wild, he digs for food.
What's that?
That's a hedgehog. The hedgehog weighs less than 1 pound. He's one of the smallest mammals at the zoo. Would you like to see the largest one?
Yeah!
These are African elephants, the largest land mammals. They can grow to be over 10 feet tall and weigh as much as 13,000 pounds. That's as much as 3 large cars. Every day, trainers work with the elephants to teach them many different voice commands. These are not tricks. They are important for the safety and well-being of the animals. Keepers check the elephants' feet to see if their foot pads and toenails are okay. They even check the back of their ears. Elephants use their ears to cool their bodies. Elephants are very strong. In many countries, people use elephants like tractors to move things, like heavy logs. Their trunks are like long noses, but they can do many things. Dolly can use her trunk to pick up a log or a single blade of grass. Scientists believe there are over 100,000 muscles in an elephant's trunk. Now it's time for a bath, and the elephants get to play in the water. They love water. A thirsty elephant can drink 56 gallons of water in less than 5 minutes. Other animals like the water too. These black bears are great swimmers.
Uh-oh.
At the zoo, you can get within inches of wild animals.
Look at those knees.
Those belong to the giraffes, the tallest animals at the zoo. They have such long legs and a very long neck, so they can eat leaves off the branches of tall trees.
They even have little horns.
But their horns are covered with skin. And even though their necks are much longer than ours, they have the same number of bones or vertebrae that we do. Giraffes can grow to be over 18 feet tall. That means they can look in a window on the second floor of a house.
What's he doing?
Their legs are so long, they have to kneel to eat off the ground. But they can move quickly when they have to. This is Zoe, and she's still a baby. Like most babies, she is curious about everything. And she loves to play with the zookeepers. When she was born, Zoe was almost 6 feet tall, and she'll grow another 5 feet in the next 8 months. Keepers feed her 3 gallons of milk from a bottle. That's over 55 glasses every day.
What happens if the animals get sick?
They're brought here, to the zoo hospital, where veterinarians like Dr. Mike take care of them. He listens to the heart of a lion-tailed macaque named Simba.
This is the vial we have the ceramic end.
And then he studies Simba's
Subcutaneously, and it's
x-rays.
sutured in there so it won't migrate, and that's the end that we have to go through.
He also performs surgery on a sick bird. He uses a special video camera called an arthroscope to see inside the animal.
Wow.
After the surgery, Dr. Mike wakes up the patient.
It looks like this little guy will be okay.
The zoo's bird forest has lots of different types of birds. All of the birds have feathers, but not all of them can fly. There's a pelican eating behind a log.
Look at that big bill.
The pelican's beak has a large pouch that's perfect for fishing. In the wild, they scoop up fish from the water and take them back to land to eat. Those are ABDIM storks. And that's a cattle egret looking for food. Watch how he swings his neck while he walks. These colorful birds are flamingos. Their unusual beak lets them eat with their head upside down, sometimes completely underwater. They strain out tiny plants and animals for food. Food with red pigment gives flamingos their pink and orange color.
What's he doing?
He's sleeping. Flamingos sleep standing on one foot.
What are those?
Young emus. They are large birds from Australia. They don't fly, but they can run really fast.
I know what those are. Ducks.
They're mallard ducks. Some don't even belong in the zoo. They just stop by to have some free meals.
There sure are a lot of different birds.
That's because they're suited to many different environments.
Hey, those are kids.
Birds aren't the only animals found in trees. At the chimpanzee forest, you can walk through a tropical jungle just like you're at a research camp in the heart of Africa. You can watch the chimps and monkeys play. These are chimpanzees. And those are red-tailed monkeys. Those are Diana monkeys. Monkeys have tails. Chimpanzees don't, but they're both great climbers. Chimpanzees love to play and make faces at the visitors.
He's wrapping himself with paper towels.
Look, a baby.
Her name is Raven. She's only 3 weeks old and was born right here at the zoo. Rusty, her mother, keeps Raven with her all the time, even when she's sleeping.
What lives in there?
That's a slender snouted crocodile. These large reptiles live in African rivers and spend most of their time under the water. When they come up for air, they only poke the top of their head out of the water.
Then you can't see them from land.
That's right. The crocodile can hide from predators and sneak up on his prey, so we can eat them. At the zoo, we can get very close to the crocodiles without being their dinner. Another animal that spends lots of time in the water is the otter. Let's walk through this special tunnel and see the otters swim. In the children's zoo, there's a mountain cave. Come on.
Whoa, it's dark.
It's just like a real cave. Cool, dark, and wet. You can see how rocks in the cave have formed over thousands of years.
They look like icicles.
The ones dripping from the top are called stalactites, and the ones on the cave floor are called stalagmites. Lots of animals live in caves, like this mud puppy. He's not a dog, he's an amphibian. Look at this one. What does he say? Woo, woo. That's a screech owl. At night, he feeds on mice, beetles, and worms. You can also find bats behind a glass window. And there's a room full of giant bats. And just before you get out, there are more surprises, like a big rattlesnake. While some animals live in caves, others live in hollow logs. Animals have many different habitats, like this giant tree trunk, where you can go inside and explore underground passageways and climb on the giant roots.
Cool.
It is cool underground. That's the way animals like it. Inside the giant tree trunk live snakes, lizards, and this eastern box turtle. Roots make great hiding places and climbing places. You can go up and then slide down again and again.
There's lots of fun things to do at the zoo.
That's Peaches, the hippopotamus. She weighs over 4,500 pounds and likes to spend hot days in the water. Her eyes and nostrils are on the top of her head, so when her body's underwater, she can still breathe and look around.
It's like she has her own snorkel.
At the end of the day, the keeper calls her to dinner. Peaches is on a diet, so for dinner, she only gets 13 pounds of hay, 6 pounds of grain, and 13 pounds of fruits and vegetables. After she eats dinner, Peaches will turn in for the night. Our day is almost over. Time for the zoo to close. Keepers call in the animals so they can have dinner and go to sleep. It's been a busy day, and tomorrow it starts all over again. Remember, next time you're at the zoo, be kind to the animals and say hello to all the nice people who make the big zoo work.
They definitely have personalities. They respond to their caretakers. All the people working in the zoo would say that we're very lucky to have the opportunity that we do. Every day is a little bit different. It's a great job.
Working with animals is great. It's very fulfilling knowing that you're able to help animals with their survival.
Goodbye.
Stay tuned for a special bonus section right after the credits. Welcome to the Big Zoo quiz. Can you identify animals from just a single clue? Get ready.
Who do these feet belong to?
A penguin, B, a hedgehog, or C, a flamingo? It's C, a flamingo.
Whose nose is this?
A goat, B, a sitatunga, or C, a zebra? It's B, a sitatunga.
Whose feet are these?
A horse, B, a sitatunga, or C, a zebra? It's C, a zebra.
Whose head is that?
A, an ostrich, B, an elephant, or C, an emu? It's C, an emu.
Whose skin is that?
A rhinoceros, B, an elephant, or C, a hippopotamus? It's B, an elephant.
Whose foot is that?
A hippopotamus, B, an elephant, or C, a crocodile? It's A hippopotamus.
Whose feet are those?
A giraffe, B, a camel, or C, a zebra?
That's a hard one.
It's B, a camel.
Whose skin is that?
A giraffe, B, a camel, or C, a zebra?
That's easy.
It's A giraffe.
Whose eye is that?
A monitor lizard, B, a crocodile, or C, a bearded dragon? It's B, a crocodile. Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yes!
Then let's ask Roger Brickell, the director of the Baltimore Zoo.
Why do we have zoos?
The original reason why zoos came into existence was to bring animals and people together. And I think that's a very fine reason, because when that happens, wonderful things can happen out of that. You can become inspired, you learn about wildlife, you learn about the environment, and you want to go out and do something to help wildlife.
What is the best job at the zoo?
I have the job that everyone wants, but really the job that everyone wants is to be an animal keeper. That's the greatest fun in the zoo world.
Are zoo animals like pets?
We have to remember that all of the animals here are wild animals. They're not domestic, like our dogs and cats at home. They're not tamed or trained in the sense of a performing animal in that sense. We don't remove animals from the wild. In fact, our attempt, of course, is to replenish the wild with some of our zoo population. So they were born in captivity, they become accustomed to us, and the keepers truly, really care for the animals that they take care of here at the zoo.
What does the zoo do to help endangered species like the Siberian tiger?
We've become very important conservators of endangered species. And the people that come and see our Siberian tigers, and our tigers, of course, were born in captivity, learn about them, think about the tiger in the wild, and think about what they could do to save that tiger, and how can we protect some of that wilderness area. If we can do that, we'll not only save the tiger, but all the other animals that are found there also.